You and I have been friends for a while, and I always love hearing your stories. But recently you were sharing with me an encounter story that you had about intentionality. Can you share that, please?
Sure. Steph, I think that the whole thing about it being intentional is really just a quick snapshot of who we should be in our Christian walk. So in the last year, I've been taking a lot of Uber rides. And I kind of call this my Uber share experiences, a little play on words there. On a ride, being picked up from Don Mills shops, and Shelly and we're going down to the Royal Alex. I get this driver, and I ask just the same questions to full-time, part-time, why. And this lady, Ashanti, shares with me that her son at age 13 had gotten in a lot of trouble, had been jailed or arrested, and he was under house arrest. Fast forward, I asked, how is he doing now? And she said, he was murdered 9 months ago. And I was like, wow. And as the conversation went on, she told me how her son-in-law had also been murdered shortly after, just 3 months prior. And I just realized how much pain this lady was going through. So I asked her a little bit, as I was just kind of praying, in my mind, Lord, give me opportunities. I asked her about church background, asked her different questions, and just listened to her and encouraged her. Then as we pulled up in front of the Royal Alex, I just said, Ashanti, would you mind if I was to pray for you? And she said, no, I'd like that. And I just prayed. As I prayed, I asked God that he would just maybe bring some peace and healing to this lady who had been through so much and was going through so much and losing a son, but also too that he would reveal himself to her in a very real way. And so what I've just tried to do is just whether on an airplane or whether at work, wherever it may be, is just be intentional. I think if we're intentional, God will give us the opportunities. And I've had times where I've prayed prior to the conversation and thought, okay, nothing's happening, and said, okay, God, I guess nothing's happening here. And then all of a sudden things have turned around and we've got into good long conversation. I think one of the key things really that makes it, I'm going to say relatively easy, is if you just ask questions and listen and really listen to what the person is saying. And because there's so many drivers who are recent immigrants to the country, they have a lot of people who maybe just don't take the time to speak to them and listen to them. And I'll often ask of their faith. I learned about Sikhism, and then I said, would you mind if I was to share a little bit of my faith? And then had an opportunity to share who Jesus is. And so things like that, it just, if we listen and we ask questions, lots of opportunities arise.
Yeah, that's amazing. And what I love about it is it's just a conversation. It's just two humans having a conversation, you asking questions, listening, and then looking for that opportunity of hearing their story and then just asking if you can pray for them. It's so simple, like you said, but you have to go in with that mindset already, like, who am I going to meet today, Lord? And use me in whichever way you want. Thank you so much for sharing your encounter story with us, Mark.
Yeah, thank you. And I hope it'll be an encouragement to others that sharing our faith is not as hard as we sometimes think it is. We don't have to have all the answers to prove who Jesus is and the accuracy of know everything about God if he's made those changes in our lives.
Awesome. Thanks so much.